Are you tired of all the spiritual bullshit? So am I. What's up, guys? So we're going to talk about practical spirituality today because I see a lot of people on Instagram and on Facebook and I just see all kinds of extra stuff. And frankly, it kind of makes me sad that this is how people are using their spiritual information or their spiritual platform. A lot of these people, like, they are the voice box for the spiritual community around them. One of the main things that we're trying to do in spirituality is reduce the suffering. And if what you're doing is creating a whole nother thing to then cause suffering, how are you helping anybody? So I did a reading a while ago, and I had this woman who came to me, and she had like a serious issue in her life. She had a step that she wanted to take, and she had no idea how to go about it. It was a very good reading. She was a really nice woman, but she had told me about the reading she had gotten just before she came to me. And it just blew my mind. Evidently, when she asked this woman about this big step that she's trying to make in her life, the psychic told her that she was a starseed and that she was a Pleiadian, I think they are. I don't know a whole lot about all this extra starseed and indigo and all that stuff, but I do know that if you're a psychic and someone comes to you with a serious question about their life, you have a responsibility to talk to spirit and find out the answer for that person. And by deflecting it and turning it into a conversation about starseeds, you are doing a grave disservice to the person that you are speaking to. In spirituality, especially like the New Age stuff or the Eastern spirituality, one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to get our ego out of the way so that our soul can shine through. We can reach our true spiritual purpose. And whenever I see these people on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever talking about how they are these things, not necessarily talking about the subject because they may be as true as any other spiritual practice, but when I see people wearing the badge, it just drives me nuts because what they've done is they have taken a path that is supposed to be about removing the ego and they've added another layer to it. They've built up their ego. Instead of going through and trying to dissolve the ego or move past the ego or work with their ego, they're building it up and they're making it this bigger, stronger monster. Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche used to talk about spiritual materialism and how we take spirituality and we create a whole new personality out of it. We create a whole new thing that we then have to get rid of. The mala, people that when you wear your mala, it's very difficult to not get trapped in the fact that you are wearing a spiritual thing, and that means that you're a really spiritual person. The same with any spiritual trinket. I specifically made my mala in a way that it looks like a piece of jewelry so that it can help me not to get stuck in that. I wear it because it looks cool and it's my mala and I love it, but it doesn't look like a really spiritual object. So to me, when people add these spiritual badges onto the vest of me, it's very similar to these people that become spiritual people. Now, I'm really one to talk. I mean, I got my little trinkets that I always wear, and I understand, and it's as much of an issue for me as it is for other people. But when people do that, I just kind of cringe because like I know how difficult it is not to do that kind of stuff. But it's like when you see somebody tell you that, oh, you're spiritual so you can't curse, or you're spiritual so you like money, you're spiritual and you like money. Oh, I can't believe that. It's all because of that spiritual box that people have created and that people then try and fill. People try and step up into that box and fit themselves into it. But the fact of the matter is, you can be spiritual and still say, you can be spiritual and still want money. You can be spiritual and still have emotions. Guess what? You're going to get angry. You're human. You're going to get sad. You're human. These are all things that happen on the spiritual path when we try and take ourselves and put us into these boxes and then show it off to the world how we are this or we are this. It's terrible. It's a horrible thing to do to yourself, especially if you're trying to work through your ego, or you're trying to work around your ego, or you're trying to get rid of it altogether. Because I will tell you, it's just another version of it. You're taking off one shirt, putting on a new one. There's many things in spiritual life that are practical. The staples of most spiritual practices. I mean, one of them is meditation. Yes, meditation can do some incredible things. In meditation, you can, I don't know, do all kinds of magical energy stuff, work with chakras, you can communicate with spirits, you can do all kinds of incredible stuff. But from what I have been taught, most of the progress from meditation comes from the most practical things. Mindfulness meditation can have the most extreme effects on people, and it's the most simple of all the meditations that I know. To sit and concentrate on your breath is incredibly powerful. There are studies that have shown that it can lower blood pressure, it can make you happier, it can help your memory, it can increase all of these faculties. And it's the simplest, most practical practice that you can do. Even in stuff like mantra, which again can be used for all kinds of incredible, mystical, magical stuff. I mean, you can connect with deities. You can change your physical reality with mantra. But also, mantra can have an incredible mindfulness effect. Just by having a mantra that you repeat throughout the day can do the same things that meditation does. It's a form of mindfulness practice when it's used that way, which means it'll have the same effects. It'll lower your blood pressure, it'll help your emotional regulation, and it will increase your memory. These are practical things. Yes, they can be brought out into these really ethereal, mystical, magical ways, but they are also very, very practical, and that's why they've stuck around forever and ever and ever and ever. As a spiritual person, no matter what religion you are, whether it's New Age, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, we come to this stuff because of a yearning which usually has to do with ending suffering. We're trying to move from a world of suffering to a world of spiritual bliss. And when we get off on these tangents and distract ourselves and become consumed by these new categories or these unpractical things, we hinder ourselves on the mission. We stop ourselves from progressing to where we want to go. And as spiritual people, in my humble opinion, we have a responsibility. If we are making progress and we are feeling better, if we are happier as a human, if we are happier, we have a duty to help other people become happier. When we come out with all this outlandish shit, people don't want to hear that. What people want to hear is, hey man, I heard you got high blood pressure. Well, I have something if you want to try it and it would lower your blood pressure. Hey man, you don't look very happy. If you'd like to, I could show you something that could help you with that. These are the practical things that help people. I hope that you will make an effort, as I do every day, because I have as big of an ego as anybody. I hope that you will make an effort to try and focus on the practical stuff, because in my opinion, the practical stuff is where the true growth is. That's where real life lives, is in the practical. All right, guys. I really appreciate you sticking around. I appreciate you watching the video to the end. You know, all this stuff. Subscribe, I'd like YouTube to know that people want to see me, so that'd be cool. I got tarot readings, I got all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's the live readings, the I-ching, the Tibetan astrology. I know it was kind of an abrasive episode, but I really feel this. And yeah, thank you for listening. Say your mantra, take your vitamins, stay grateful, y'all.